Okay, good.
Hello, this is Freimos here. I'm another member of Team Rogue Squad. My stuff will be tagged as well as Captain Creatives. And today I'm doing a deck profile on my Masked Heroes. These are post-Hero Strike, so it's going to have new support, and I was just really excited to see this comes out. So far it's very consistent, and some of it's proxied, but I know the effects by heart, so we just get started. So first thing I run is 3 Shadow Mist. This is our replacement for Stratos. When he's special summoned, you can add Mass Change to your hand, or Mass Change to any change quick play spell, actually. But if you don't get that off, when you send to the graveyard, you can add an E-Hero. So it's really good for plays into Darklaw during your opponent's turn. So he's very good in that. He also does a little bit of deck thinning. Next, I run 3 Bubble Men. I'm not very too proud of this, but when you're at a kind of a stalemate of just like who's gonna be stronger, it's gonna be good to get these out when you just like go into draw it. Plus, if he's the only card on the field or in your hand, you can draw 2. So he's very good in that sense. Next up, we have 2 Neos Alias. He's a really good 1900 beater. I'm not gonna really use him for his effects, but he's also good for getting out the Shining. He's good for Koga, and he's good for like any rank 4 we want to use. So he's very versatile wherever he is outside of being a material. And then 2 Goblinberg. This is mainly to do the Shadow Mist play, because then you special summon him. And either way, he's not useless on the field. Like he puts himself in the face-up defense, and if they bother not to attack him, they get another level 4 and get a rank 4. So it's very good in that sense. Then we have 1 Summoner Monk. We do run a surplus of spells, so he's very good to have if you just need like Shadow Mist, so you discard like something like Hero Lives. And I actually haven't used him too much, so that's why we do run 1, of course. Then the final monster is 1 Elemental Hero Wildheart. He's good for getting out DN, and he's a good just 1500 beater since he can't be affected by trap cards. So that's it with the monsters. I want to say there is 12. So move on just the spells here. I'm just gonna go through the 6 standard, 3 Rhoda, 3 E-Call. It's just Surge, it's staple in any E-Hero deck. This searches out for level 4 lowers, which is all I run in this deck, and then this goes for E-Heroes specifically. So this can search out Goblinberg, this can search out Shadow Mist. It's just overly good to just draw into. Either way, you're going to have a good start when you run 3. There's no reason not to run 3 of both. 3 Miracle Fusion. This is for the normal Elemental Hero plays, into Gaia, into the Shining, into Absolute Zero, and into Contrast Hero. I looked at Contrast Hero. I'm just gonna go into that later. But this is basically our fusion. Banishes from the grave as well. So very strong. Next, of course, we have 3 Mass Change. This is very standard. Targeted E-Hero. Send it for a Mass Hero of the same attribute. I don't feel like I need to explain this. This is pretty much very self-explanatory. Next we have 3 A Hero Lives. Anyone new to Mass E-Heroes builds, seeing A Hero Lives, they're going to think, oh, why are you going to do that? If you start off with that, you're paying 4,000 life points. But it's like the same thing about if a Lightsworn player worries about if they deck out or not. They win before they do. So this also gets out a Shadow Mist play. So very good. That's just my reasoning for it. 3 Upstart. I'm really going for those nice life point gaps, but it's very good consistency. It's drawing. You can draw just like so much stuff. So this is all pretty much it goes for. Then we're gonna go to 2 of 2 Mass Charge. This recycles an E-Hero and it recycles a change quick play spell. It's very strong, very consistent. It's going to keep things going along mid to late game. Then going to the 1-ofs, 1 Mass Change 2. just for like if I have something like Summoner Monk out, or something terrible happens, like I get vanity'd or I get breakthrough, then this is pretty good to use. You discard. They can use any monster outside of E heroes, but they have to be the same attribute but a level higher. So it's very good in that sense. So it's good backup. Good backup. And then Snatch Steal is very much self-explanatory. The fact that this became unbanned is just like, stupid. And that's all these spells, so we're going to go into the traps now. 2 Battle Guard Howling, the trolliest card you could possibly run in this deck. In the main deck, at least. You target, when warrior-type monster you control is target for attack or a monster effect. Target a face-up monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, and send it back to the hand. Absolutely trolly. I love it to death. I don't see it too much in too many builds. I do not get why not. It is hilarious to see people rage quit. And then 2 vanities. It just stops the play. Plus, we do use a lot of like normal spells. We don't run a lot of continuous, and we don't run a lot of traps either. So we're going to be continuously saying stuff to the grave. So it's really good just to ruin someone's thing and then go into our own special summoning dicky moves. So there we go. Then we're going to the 1-ofs, 1 compulse, 1 bottomless. I wanted to try a different build without using bottomless. Like if I ran like a BLS build, I would definitely take out bottomless over compulse, because compulse is just overall better. Returning to the hand, there's not a lot of reaction. There's not a lot of counters to returning to the hand, but there's a lot for destroying. Plus it's very bad. It's just like because there's just a lot of like destruction negations. That's about it for the main deck over here.
What's your count for your main deck?
My count for my main deck?
Yeah, like how many cards are you running in your main deck?
I run 40, basically standard 40. It's pretty budget now with Hero Strike, so if you guys want to like try this out, I hope I give you guys some ideas.
So does the lower number keep it consistent?
Very much so, because you're going to draw into what you want. You're going to draw into something that searches if you don't get what you want. You're going to draw into something that's drawing.
Okay.
So now we're going to go into the extra deck here. Beautiful. Let's sky the sleeves. We have a
Skylo.
2 Master Hero Dark Law. This is
okay. So explain this card.
Okay. Walking Macrocosmos. And also, they add anything to their hand, you can banish 1 from their hand. It's completely random, and it's only once per turn. But this is an absolutely strong card. It is a staple in this new deck. Just absolutely fantastic. Just put this in a different pile. Then we run 1 Masked Hero Acid. Very strong. When he's special summoned, destroy all spell and traps my opponent controls, and each monster they currently control lose 300. So the loss of 300 stays on them as long as they stay on the field. Plus he's a good 2600 beater, and it also makes every monster on their side of the field Ragna 0 bait. So it's very much powerful when you're running a lot of like rank 4s and stuff. So he's just very good. There's also a really good play that I'm going to get into in just a few seconds. Next, 1 Masked Hero Koga. Again, he just makes something on the field Ragna 0 bait. He gains 500 for every monster my opponent controls. Then you just banish an E-Hero, and they lose attack equal to that banished monster's attack. So he kind of so he also sets up the Shining, since more E-Heroes are going to be banished. So it just makes Shining a lot more powerful, while also making Ragna 0 a lot more useful. And then here's the last of the Masters we use, Master Hero DN. I actually don't really use him that much. When he destroys a monster in my ballot, special summon a level 4 lower E-Hero from the deck, which isn't really that good mid-game, because you're going to burn through your E-Heroes pretty quickly. And most of the time, with Dark Law out, the things aren't going to be sent to the graveyard for your opponents. So, I definitely he's definitely a very, like, just put him in there for putting him in there. I'd probably put him in for like a 3rd Dark Law or a 2nd Koga, but I'm currently still fixed on that. Now we're going to the regular E-Heroes. Elemental Hero, the Shining, amazing beater. When he gains 300 for every banished E-Hero, and when he's destroyed, you select to remove from play and send him back to the, I want to say the graveyard. It's the graveyard. So he's a very good beater, very powerful. So that's all I have to say about him. And then here's the play I'm talking about. Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. His effect is when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Well, you can use Mass Change to get out Acid, so you destroy their back row, you destroy their front row, it leaves them completely open, you have a 2600 beater out. It's extremely powerful. It's one of my favorite plays to pull off, and it's just overall overall screw you to your opponent, which is the true meaning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to look your opponent in the eye and say, fuck you. So here we have a Elemental Hero Gaia. He's the Earth E-Hero I'm more going to because of his effect. When he's special summoned during the turn, he chooses a monster, half its attack, and then he gains that attack. Again, makes things Ragnar Zero bait, and just weakens things, which is the most powerful thing an E-Hero deck can do, because they don't really do well against things over 3,000 attack. So this is overall very strong. Then the last fusion monster, Contrast Hero Chaos. I started testing him out. He is so much fun. He uses both light and dark attribute. Once per turn, he can negate a face-up card. It's so much fun. He's a 3k beater. I realized how much faster I burn through a Mask Hero, so I decided to just use him with Miracle Fusion. He counts as an E-Hero, so you can use him with Miracle Fusion. It's overall just great. He is also Mass Change bait for either Koga or Dark Lost, so that's all overall really good. Just a lot of fun. Now we're going to go into the Xyz. I have 4 in here. Exodin and Honor Art. These are both pretty stable. I don't see myself using Exodin too much. I'd probably replace him once I get him Excalibur. Hero Champion Excalibur. Really strong in this deck, but Exodin's the one I'm using so far until I get one. Honor Arc is just stable. Then use Ragnar Zero. A lot of people don't run this card with this setup. I have no idea why. Everything on your opponent's field is going to be losing attack. It's going to be different from their attack. It's much better. It's also sometimes better to just destroy something than draw. You get much more power off of that, and Ragnar Zero is just fantastic in this deck. Then the last one is Blade Armor Ninja. Really good, just asserting a victory. 2200, he attacked twice, very powerful, and overall he's just very easy to get out as well, since we run mainly warriors. So
is there anything you would replace him with if you could?
Absolutely not. He wins games. Same thing with he wins games like he does for Madolche's. Very strong.
So what about that side deck? That impressive side deck.
Oh yeah, common play that I like to do when I use Miracle Fusion is go into the Necros of BRIONAC.
You expected that, though.
Miracle Fusion to BRIONAC.
Very powerful.
Too good.
Oh yeah. I am happy I pulled that today, but that's all seriousness. The end of my deck profile. I hope that gave you some ideas, and you all stay sexy. Happy Man Tax Day. This is recorded on February 14th, so happy Man Tax Day.